am so excited about today's craft. I have had these, I've showed these in my craft clean out video, but I have these little wooden jelly jars. I saw them, I got them at a thrift store for like 25 cents, maybe 50 cents. Very inexpensive, but I didn't quite know what to do with them. At first I thought I would paint them yellow and make maybe like a lemon curd jars out of them, or maybe honey and put like a little honeybee. I don't know, it just didn't quite, I don't know, just didn't sing or really make me really excited until this week. I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I lay awake at early mornings. I wake up too early and I just kind of lay there in bed and start thinking and having a bunch of creative ideas. When this idea popped into my mind. So I have these, they're the French marmalade, orange or English marmalade jars. They're the crock jars. I have that one. I have this one. They're the Dundee jars. And then I have this third marmalade jar. I thought, wouldn't that be so fun if I could turn this into a wooden marmalade jar. So what gave me the idea to do this is I also happen to have these IOD stamps. So you can see the IOD, the wrappers here, the IOD stamps. They are it's for the lemon curd. Let me see. I'm trying to think. It's the crockery. The Iron Orchid Designs Decor Stamp Crockery. It's the crockery stamp. And I thought, well, that's perfect. I have these already. I have these wooden jars. I have this, the actual crockery jar itself to use as my inspiration. So that's what I'm going to do today. In addition to the wooden jars, little jam jars, I have these from the Dollar Tree. And I thought, well, that would be fun to make a bigger one. Just paint it and use the stamp on that, because some of the stamps I have are very big on the IOD stamp collection. Like, for instance, this middle piece here, which is a it's a marmalade. I don't know what. Yeah, it just doesn't have a name or a type of marmalade, but that would be perfect for this large Dollar Tree jar. So I'm actually really excited about this. So I have the samples, I have the cutouts, I have the stamps. I'm going to be using this linen toll folk art acrylic paint. I do have this Waverly Celery chalk paint. Now I thought maybe that would be a fun color. That's just in case, but I'm definitely using the linen folk art. And then I have some sanding sponges to help my paintbrush. And so the first thing I want to do is get this sticker off. So it doesn't really want to peel. It's going to leave a mark. So I saw on good old YouTube how if you take this knife, kind of don't score it real deep, but just kind of scrape the picture and then spray a liquid over it, and let it wait for about 15 to 20 minutes, it should peel right off. So that's going to be the first thing I do. I'm going to get that started, get that soaking, get those stickers off, and then I'm going to take all of this extra stuff off, all this fabric off of the wooden jars, and I'm going to get started. I'm so excited, I can't wait. So let's get started with this. Okay, so clearly the chipboard's going to be a little wet, so what I'm going to do now is just let this dry overnight. And I'm not sure if it's a little tacky now, so I may, if it's still sticky tomorrow, then I will run a bit of sandpaper over and scuff it up. But I mean, other than some scraping, it came off pretty easy, I thought. I mean, if you sand it, you're going to have to, use some elbow grease, and if you scrub the sticker off. Either way, it takes a little work to get it stripped down. So I was curious to try that technique, so I'm glad I did. But I got it off. It's going to be great. Can you see it? Can you see my vision here? With the stamp, it's like a great size. It's going to be reminiscent of. All right, all the paint has finally dried. This is a couple days later. I did go ahead and apply 2 coats to the wooden jars, to the Dollar Tree hanging jar, and this is the wooden cutout jar. So these both have 2 coats, and now I'm ready to pick out which, get this out of the way, decide on which stamp I want to use. So I'm going to first try it on the bigger stamp onto the cutout from the Dollar Tree. Let's see here. I think I want to use, I definitely want one of the bigger stamps. So I think I'm going to do the Royal Lemon Curd since 1863. So go ahead and take that off and stamp this. And I don't have any black ink, but I'm going to use this Vintage Photo Distress ink. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I just did a sample run on this piece of paper that I have here. It looks good because it's not solid, which I like. I do wish it were black because on the jars the ink is black. But like I said, I don't want to have to go, I'm not going to go buy ink. Well, I probably will, but I'm going to do a couple of these, you know, to see how these turn out. So I'm definitely going to use this distress ink. So let's just go for it here. So I'm going to load up the ink pad onto the stamp. I'm going to stand up for this. Make sure I get it straight. Well, there it is. So now I just need to figure out, I'm going to let that dry. Yeah, let that dry and figure out which one I want to use on this small stamp. Wipe that off. Orange marmalade, so let's do the orange marmalade. I'm going to do a sample run of this one as well. And there you go. So now I just need to get some rope. I think what I'm going to do is just keep it simple. Tie some rope around. I want to distress it and make sure it's dry. So I just added a little distressing ink around the edges. And I just tied the rope back on that was originally on there. So there we have that. And so what I did here along the edge is I just laid this on its side, the very corner of the stamp, and to give it those lines to look like a jar lid. And there we go. And here's what that one looks like finished. So just very simple, very easy peasy, but definitely a lot more my style. So we have the royal lemon curd and we have the orange marmalade. So what do you think? I'm gonna go put these out and display them, see what they look like with my decor.